We said hello and goodbye to our son on the same day. I was home, bed rest. I was 5 days away from our scheduled C-section, and I noticed after dinner, my son and I had this usual routine where I would sit down and rub the side of my belly or, where his feet were, and he didn't do his normal kicking, and nothing was happening. So we called the hospital, and they suggested that we drink a sugary drink. Like, we already did that, we're on our way. He had a heart rate, he was breathing, but there was no stimulation, there was no movement. So they decided to do an emergency C-section. That was early in the morning on November 8th, and about 2 o'clock, he passed away. He had a major brain hemorrhage, which is pretty common in preemies because they can't regulate their blood pressure.
I'm feeling so small.
There was nothing they could do to make it a better outcome.
Was over my head.
Wonderful doctors and nurses.
Nothing at all.
And we were able to say goodbye to him. I was able to give him a bath. I was able to change him. Our priest showed up. We were able to baptize him. All within a couple of hours. That all just really, when you think back to that day, seems like 5 whole minutes. And I remember when it was time to go back up to my room, my husband said, okay, it's time for us to go back upstairs and start healing you. And I had to hand him over, and it was really, really hard. But the nurse who had been with us that whole morning, Janet, I looked at her and I said, can you just hold him for a little bit? He had already passed away.
Anywhere I go. Would the father do?
I gave him to Janet. Had it not been for Janet and knowing that she would hold him and love him, sit with him for a little bit, there was that fight or flight moment in my head, like just grab him and run as fast as you can, because maybe like Superman, if you run around the world a couple of different times, time will go back, they can fix all this.
You're the one that I love. I'm saying goodbye.
Had it not been for her, I probably would be the crazy person still holding up my son. So we said hello and goodbye to our son on the same day.
And I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you.
They have the most amazing nurses in the NICU.
And anywhere I follow you.
You would think that eventually, this is just another day for them, but they're invested just as much as you are. We love them.
We hear stories like that, and we like to think that it's not as common as it is. The reality is that at a lot of hospitals, the NICU is one of the biggest units in the hospital. And so this story of Liam is the little boy's name. This story happens for so many families. And that's why we're here. This is one of the reasons why we're here. And that's why it's so much more than just coming together and dancing and listening and learning. But that's why we have to fundraise. Because the reality is that we can be so motivated and so passionate and so moved by these stories, but to actually change lives, we have to raise money. The NICU is full of so much really expensive and really high-tech equipment, because so often these babies are born and they can't survive in our world. We have to create a world for them in these special beds where they can survive, and that's the only way that they're going to survive. And those beds are thousands of dollars. And so we can't just stop by saying that we came to Dance Marathon and we danced and we had an awesome time and we listened to miracle stories, but we have to let the passion that those miracle stories inspire in us move us to act and move us to do something about it.
Okay, I want everyone to take out their cell phone. Place the cell phone in the palm of your hand and hold it out in front of you. The weight that you feel on your hand is the weight of a premature baby in the NICU, just like the one whose story we just heard. Babies this size, like Ashley said, they can't survive in our world. They don't have the resources to survive. We have to create their own world and environment that they can have a fighting chance by creating these beds that give them exactly what they need. We are the voices for these babies that lay in those beds. And the funds that we raise at SLUDM are able to give the babies that chance, to give the babies that bed, and to give the families their own room to hold and to have that baby. Let's use these phones. Let's be the voice for those babies. And now, let's ask for the funds to save babies just like them. If we let ourselves feel the power of this mission, but not act upon it, then we're the only ones that are going to be changed by it. But if we want to change the lives of others, if we want to truly make miracles, then we have to act so we can change the lives of others. Our Facebook page is St. Louis University Miracle Network Dance Marathon, and we encourage all of you to share this powerful message that was recorded on it. We want you to text it to your families, to your friends, share the link, call people, tell them about your experience you're having, tell them about the mission that we are working so hard for, the mission that we believe is truly powerful. Let them be inspired by all of you who have committed yourselves to raising money and hope for these children.